doing all this business stuff and whatnot, and doing all this community work, we're not doing family work. You gotta really get in tune with really getting back to the family. Like, sit down with your family. You need the space, you need the time, and you need some food.
It ain't that hard to get family together.
Yeah, I'm just tryna run a checkup like a doctor. All of them are acting, need an Oscar. I just want a couple grand and make the family proud. I'm sick of penny pinching like a foster. I need some pension off these writtens. They always want a discount, but don't add on to my distance. I do this all in love, and best believe it's still a business. Can't flip commas off your comments, I can't compound off your interest. Can't be cold-hearted, though, got my core.
Sex, the most taboo conversation there is. However, it's how we all are here, and it's how we start families. BU Wellness Network is here to help the community to be more informed and have a healthy relationship with sex. BU Wellness Network has been serving the community for 25 years here in Indiana. They take a holistic approach of helping the community by providing free STI and HIV screening, helping people who is currently living with HIV, and providing a healthy meal based on where people are at with their nutritious diet. If you want more information about BU Wellness Network, hit the link down below.
Peace, family. Welcome to another edition of the Lead Your Lineage podcast. We got the #1 podcast for families seeking to end generational dysfunction. What up, cuz?
Yeah, man. Nothing much, man. Slow motion, man. Better than any motion, cuz. Man, look, I got something to ask you again. I got another question to ask for you, and I want you to give me your full question before I dial in today. I want to hear exactly what you're thinking. And I'm going to ask you this. Yeah, let's get into it, cuz well, first, you know what, I asked you how you doing good, but anyway, let's get into it. Because I already asked him how you doing. So, you know what I mean? I did, you know what I mean? I always check in on my cousin. That's why sometimes let me phrase it. We always check in on each other. Absolutely. That's why we, sometimes I just be diving in it. But I want to ask you this, cuz.
Yep. What up?
You said what?
What up?
I thought you said, hold up. What are you committed to? Why are you committed to it? How do you stay committed to it? Why? I know you know me, I come with a plethora of questions at once. So my question is, what is you committed to? Why are you committed to it, cuz? And what keeps you committed to it when trials and tribulations are going on and everything tells you to not be committed to it?
Great question. So the why, the what, and the how. That's how I'm able to remember those 3 questions.
I'll help you out too.
What I'm committed to is first and foremost prioritizing my health. That's my #1 thing for this fiscal year of 2026 is my health. So that's my #1 commitment. So to summarize that, that's a commitment to self. To self. Because once we, in my opinion, in my beliefs, in my lived experience, when you prioritize your health, you feel better, you think more clear, you're functioning at a higher level, cognitively, your neurons are firing, your body's healing properly, you're getting enough rest, getting enough sleep to repair, to have your body naturally repair itself. So that's my #1 priority is health. But essentially that's a priority to myself. So that's what I'm committed to on a personal level.
Yeah.
On a business level, I'm committed to Lead Your Lineage. I am really, like, transparently, I'm learning how to be a COO, learning how to be a chief of operations, and learning how to track KPIs, key performance indicators on the day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month, quarter basis to see how we're growing. And I'm saying that because we're getting into a space where we have to track data to attract what we want and what we put into the universe. We gotta let the data points talk to us or talk for us. So I'm getting good at that. I'm committed to that. How I stay committed to that when life's trials and tribulations happen. And they have happened before, to me multiple times. I actually asked that question when I met with our coach. That was one of my questions after the first session. Like when I worded it out. When life happens, how do you get back on track? Knowing you want to be on that track, how do you get back on track intentionally? That was essentially like the wording of the question. And he gave some good wisdom. And what I got from the wisdom that he provided was I was doing the right things to get back on track. I just needed to add more intention into it and more focus and not be distracted to get back on track. Because you're technically off the track. So you're out of your lane. You've been derailed. It's gonna take intentional effort to get directly back to where you were. So you can keep going.
Great.
And the quickest way to do that is from point A to point B. If you go to point A and you got to go around and zigzag and swirl around different corners, instead you can just go from here to here. But you got to do all this instead. Those are distractions. So just having more intention on getting back on track when you are derailed, because life is gonna happen.
Great.
Life is gonna happen. It always happens. Good, bad, and indifferent. It will always happen. So being able to figure out the best way possible to do that with the intention and focus, that's where I'm at. But I'm deeply committed to my health journey first and foremost, because once I do that, everything else, the rewards and the results of that flows into everything else. It flows into Lead Your Lineage. It flows into our relationship as cousins. It flows into my relationship with my family, et cetera, et cetera. So it all flows when I'm taking care of myself. That's what I'm committed to.
Okay. I like that, cuz. I like that, man. I really do.
Appreciate you, cuz.
And
I do what I can.
And man, one thing about my cuz, man, he a committed guy, man. You know,
I am.
like he say, one thing about you, cuz, even though you feel like you be falling off the rail, in my opinion, cuz, you be on the rail, but you start noticing you slowing down. I say that. You going at a good pace, you know, and not even saying like, oh, I should be here. But sometimes we can be slowing down as far as in, okay, I know how to move at a steady pace. Okay, let me rephrase it. It's like a baby. A baby knows how to walk when you teach it to walk, but it refuses to walk because it got to use more muscle. So it decides to crawl. Even though it knows it should walk, it's still getting to its destination. It's still heading to the right path, right? But so I'm saying that cuz I appreciate you. Every time cuz feel like he going off rail.
Keep going. I'm gonna just.
Or every time, no, you good cuz. Every time cuz feel like he going off a rail. Or every time cuz feel like he's doing however he feel like he doing. He always notice he can get back. You always notice he off the rail, cuz. So that's one thing I want to give you your flowers for, cuz, and that's just that self-awareness of realizing that you off the rail, how you like to say it. However I would like to say it, you just slowing down. You doing the crawling instead of the walking. You know, you taking the harder route, in my opinion. You know, so I respect you realizing you taking the harder route, quote unquote, my own words, and you be like, you know what? Let me make it be easier on myself because I know better, and that take commitment itself. Cuz so,
damn,
yeah. So I see you, cuz. Let's go ahead.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Now let's go ahead. Bro.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's good. Now, thank you for that too.
Yeah, cuz ain't no problem, cuz. That's just the truth.
It's definitely this journey of entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
I ain't even gonna go into entrepreneur, just being human.
Yeah.
Let's just start there. The journey of being a healthy human.
Mm-hmm.
When you are in a world where things are so unnatural on a day-to-day basis,
All day.
is a form of mental gymnastics in its own right. And then being able to relate to people that once, when you were, I just for example, just on a plant-based tip, right? Like I used to eat meat. I used to
throw down at the barbecue.
I used to do, I used to eat all the stuff that
Cuz you should throw
everybody
down.
talking about.
When he first turned vegan,
Yeah.
I'm looking at Cuz. What I said, Cuz, I said, you ain't eating, Cuz. I'm looking at him like, Cuz, what? Cuz
I
you
used to
should
eat.
throw down.
I used to eat everything.
Throw
And it's
down.
like some people were like, "Oh, how you gonna get protein? Or how you gonna do this or do you need to eat more and all that?" And legit, this is like I'm 8+ years into being plant-based.
Damn.
And like, yeah, it's some things I definitely could have done differently.
Mm-hmm.
And I know better now. Like, that's the self-awareness Cuz was talking about. I know better now. That's why I'm prioritizing my health. I know how important this stuff is. And getting to a natural way of living. Now, grace and accountability, thin line between that. Shout out to DG for that. But it has to happen. This is what I call into my life. I attracted this.
Yep.
I looked in the mirror like, hey, I can't do this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So being able to sit here and receive that, and I'm working on receiving like those compliments and those expressions of gratitude as well. I'm working on that personally.
Yeah, shit.
I've always been the person to just play the high road and like, no, that's all. It's your world. It's all. Like, you got it.
Yeah, me too.
And I never sit there and like receive it and just say thank you.
I think it's hard for us,
appreciate
man, to do that.
It is. Especially in our family.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I was about to say, let me rephrase
sure.
that. I was just about to say that.
In our family, absolutely. It absolutely is.
Yeah.
And it's not even that it doesn't happen. It's just it's a genetic thing that we got to decode and unprogram and relearn. To be real with you.
Shit.
And I'm committed to that. That's health. So like holistic health, specifically mental and physical and emotional. Those are my 3 commitments. And once I master those on a different level, the residuals and the results of mastery on those 3 different realms of existence will pour into everything else, lead your lineage.
Agreed, cuz. Agreed. Before I get in my commitments, I want to comment and say this. A couple podcasts ago, I agree with you. And now I look at it and I'm like, damn, cuz, I don't know. I agree with you because that's coming from my perspective. But I'm looking at it as a whole world perspective. And I'm like, because all the stuff that's been trickling down, and that's one thing I'm good at, looking at another perspective. I'm like, okay, of course I'm agree with you, cuz, because we on the same path. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I like to try to think of the other path. One thing you said, cuz, a couple podcasts ago, and I totally agree with you. But it's making me think of it on another perspective. 100% agree with you. You said most people, because I'm talking about commitment, most people change. Most people have to go through something in order for them to be constant with their commitment. They have to have a tragic, some type of tragic event, an event that triggers them, that gives them the motivation and all that. I'm like, yeah, because it happened to me. That's why I can agree with you. It happened to you. And I thought about this, cuz it happened to everybody.
Yeah.
However, everybody didn't turn that fire, or everybody didn't start that flame and make it a fire. That flame didn't fire everybody up, cuz that emotional trigger, sometimes that emotional trigger make they flame and they lighter go out of fluid. I said, sometimes it fuck people up because I got to looking at like, damn, some people go through some shit, emotional tragic, and they go downwards, or they stay at a standard, or they always going in a spiral because it's fucking them up. You know what I mean? I'm like, damn. So, you know what I mean? Because, looking at it from a different perspective and looking at it like that, and shit, we know people. We got people in our family who went through multiple shit, and you be like, damn, cuz, that should have made them more, that spark should have sparked the flame in them, but it didn't. You know what I mean? That drink, man, that drink be clogging my throat. But,
nah, that's real.
But, yeah, so yeah, cuz, but, I just thought about that while we was talking about this because I was thinking about my commitments. Now, my commitments, cuz, I got a commitment.
Talk to me.
I got a commitment, cuz, my commitment low key is Lineage Lineage, like legit. But it's for real, like real lifestyle. Like my commitment is to, I've been realizing everything that I'm doing is new. Everything that I'm going forward is new up to my family because I am committed to being the first male that is a great male figure that people can look up to and that can show you and bring you morals and values and principles that can trickle down to the other young man. And so when they get to older men, they can trickle down to the other young man. I'm bringing the male principle in my family. You know what I mean? That's just real life, cuz. So that's what I'm committed to. And why I'm committed to that is because I realized this is the missing key. Simple as that. That's why. And now this is why I do want to get into it, the trials and tribulations of it. The trials and tribulations of it, I seem like this. I probably mentioned this in another podcast, or I probably didn't. But when you are, everybody knows this, when you are the new one to do it, sometimes you get ventured out. Sometimes you get left on the island. I'm with my kids 24/7, 365. Sometimes they get overstimulated to me because I'm teaching them stuff. So they're very intelligent. So they always got something to say. They always got something to show you. They always want me to help them on the craft or something. That's great and all, but when you're doing that 24/7, 365 out of the day, it can get to you, because I'm a human being. I'm not a machine. However, I still stay committed to it. When all this craziness is going on, and I feel like the world is going crazy. They trying to make us feel like we're in a financial strife and all of that, and this and that, and then they try to make you feel like you got to put your kids in school so they can have an advantage, and they be trying to do all this propaganda shit. You know what I mean? I'm still committed to teaching my kids. I'm still committed to being there for my kids. People like, how you do it, man? I got a job. I work. I entrepreneur, and I home teach my kids. You know what I mean? That's a lot daily. And that's what commitment takes. Commitment takes you being busy a lot.
It does.
When you committed to something, all that time for when you thought you had to rest, quote unquote, all that lazy time, that's the time you putting in work. That's the time you building what you had in your brain, that commitment that you want to get. I want to get a commitment to where I show my family what a man is. These are the steps that I got to take in order to do. Okay, when you committed to something, it's never easy.
At all.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I got to take these steps, right? And I got to take the consequences and the pros with them. However, it's pros and cons to everything. And everybody know that. So as the trials and tribulations come in as being a father, not feeling like I have enough time to myself, I always remember you can work for that shit, bro. You can, whatever you got to be committed. You got to be committed to getting that time to yourself. You got to be committed to keep getting your brain unfogged and keep being this good parent so you can teach and so you can go to work, so you can be an entrepreneur and be creative. Being committed takes uncomfort. So what I'm saying is, if you're not going through trials and tribulations, you must not be committed to something, in my opinion. That's why I'm asking that. Because when you committed to something, like I said earlier, when you committed to something, that free time, gone. That little bullshit you was doing and extra malicious activities and activities that doesn't engage into the mission that you committed to, in order to get your mission done, you gotta drop those.
Yep.
When
that's a whole morning process too.
Yeah, cause when you going through the trials and tribulations, for this year, you know, well, the last previous year was first year we finally started making money. You know what I mean? But we was going through the trials and tribulations of
entrepreneurship.
Yeah, the trials and tribulations of entrepreneurship. That's real. We had to learn how to make us value.
We had to learn our
value. We had to learn our business.
Yeah.
And you know, that's the trials and tribulations that we were going to go through. We took the cons. We took the falls. We spent a lot of money on Lineage Leader. We have. You know, our own pockets, you know what I mean? And that's okay because that's what we're committed to.
Yep.
Are you committed to losing money? Are you committed to working out? I'm just using your, weight because it's a health person. Are you committed to waking up and running? Are you committed to changing your diet so you won't have diabetes?
I hope so.
You know what I mean? Because everybody wants to have a goal, but they're not committed to nothing. For example, like I just said, you wanna have a goal for diabetes, right? But you're not committed to changing your. Let me rephrase it. You have not a goal to get diabetes. No, let me rephrase that, y'all. You gotta go. Yeah, I caught myself. And then probably how you looked at me too. So you got a goal to get rid of diabetes, right? But you're not committed to the process of doing it. You're not committed to because I ain't never had diabetes, so let me step in my frame. You committed to leaving the streets, right?
That's good.
You want to leave the streets, right? Yeah. But you're not committed to stop hanging out with those friends. You're not committed to learning a new skill to gain money. You're not committed to learn how to be in a new environment. You're not committed to really changing who you are on the inside so you can be different and actually leave the streets. You just want to leave them. And everybody say they want to do something. I always tell kids every time I go somewhere, my favorite thing, it's always been my favorite thing. Oh yeah, I want to be a scientist. Oh yeah, you want to be a scientist? Oh, okay. Yeah, you got dreams of being the brain scientist or something, or a brain surgeon. Oh, okay, I'm not knocking down you, but what did you do this previous week? That brain surgeon should be doing, because that's what you need to be doing. You know what I mean? You got to be committed to the right things in order to get your goal. And I'm saying that because that's what, I'm learning. And the trials and going to that, right? And going to that, people be forgetting, like I keep saying, you're going to be uncomfortable leaving the streets. When I first left the streets, man, I was gaining enough money to make an income, to make a living for myself. You know what I mean? Learning how to get a job and pay bills off of the job and pay. Man, I was.
It's a culture shock.
Yeah, bro.
It's a culture.
I was like, oh shit. Hey. Money just don't come and go like that. You can't just spend money and it don't just come back to you. You know what I mean? You just don't. You gotta wait 2 weeks. And this is what you get at the end of those 2 weeks. And no matter, how hard you work, no matter if you work harder, no matter what, you still gonna get that same paycheck. You know what I mean? And being that culture shock, most people go back and do what they are accustomed to. Because you have a goal, but you're not committed. I could have easily been like, yeah, fuck it, I'm gonna do this and do that. Now, therefore, I ain't gonna stunt. At that time, at that process, at the beginning, I did have little slip-ups, you know what I mean? I did think I was doing this and it wasn't that much, or I was doing this. I did have slip-ups. However, I was committed to the process, so I let it slowly unravel. America got us thinking we watch too much movies. I think that's what it is. And in movies, one clip, he broke. The next clip, his idea then came to magic, and you seeing him living in mansions and living whatever his idea or her idea was. We watch too many movies. The movie skipped the part where he had to be committed every day to that business, or she had to be committed every day to that business or that idea or thought. The movie skipped where it only showed you one clip of them not eating. It didn't show you how many clips it really of them was eating. You didn't know it was 100 of them. They only showed you one of them because it's a movie. So it had to clip out all the rest of it. Just like a book and a movie. Most of the time you transfer the book to a movie, it clips out 1,000 scenes, right? So we so used to seeing movies, and we so used to seeing them clips. We got to go back to reading books and seeing the process and feeling people's process. And
That's
understanding about the community, cuz.
That's a strong point.
I didn't mean to go deep in.
Nah, you good. You good. I'm glad you did. That part about the process. That's a lot of the stuff that is left out on the journey.
Oh,
so you have a start line, you have a finish line. The how to get from the start line to the finish line, that's the journey. The in between the start line and the finish line is the process. Like that's how are we going to get from this place to this place? Are we going to walk? Are we going to crawl? Are we going to run? Are we going to take an airplane? Are we taking a boat? Okay, we're taking a boat. Okay, do we have a boat? No, we don't have a boat. Okay. Do we know how to build a boat? Yep, we know how to build a boat. Okay, we know how to build a boat. All right, what kind of materials do we need to build this boat? Okay, well, we need some wood. Okay, bet we're going to get some wood. All right. Where we get wood from? Trees. Okay, are we around some trees? We in the middle of some farmland. Yep. It's all flat land, a whole bunch of corn and soybeans. By the time you get that, you losing people already. You losing people every process. When you really dial in the process, and it's like, oh, okay, well, we gotta go find some trees. So we gotta find a forest or a jungle or some woods. And we gotta cut down some trees. Oh, how we gonna cut down some trees? We got the equipment. Nope. Okay, we gotta get some equipment. Where we get the equipment from? Okay, Lowe's. Okay. It's low. It's 10 p.m. We just came up with this idea. What time Lowe's open? Open up at 7 or 6 o'clock. Okay, 6 a.m. All right, bet we're gonna go to 6 a.m. All right, well, let's get some rest. Good night. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole process. And I don't think people understand the true what I just laid out. That applies to entrepreneurship tenfold. Because you have to literally document the entire journey of what you want your customer to experience. Man. When we did the writer's room with Mark, right? Shout out to Mark Bessiaki. We did the writer's room with Mark. He laid out, that was my favorite thing. Yeah. One of my favorite things ever. He laid out how they literally make movies. So they're taking this super drawn out story and putting it into an hour and a half to a 3 hour and a half time frame. Basically, let's just say they're doing a biopic, right? They're doing a biopic of someone's life. Let's say, I think one with Michael Jackson it just came out or it's about to come out, something like that. I saw a preview for it. They're putting that man's decades of life into a 2-3 hour movie.
Man, my point.
That's a lot.
Skipped a lot. It's gonna skip a lot.
That's a lot.
Skipping a lot.
A lot of the process is gonna even our own life, even with the average person that's not a superstar like Michael Jackson, there's a lot of things that make up the you that you are.
You're right.
There's a lot of things that make up you, and to document that entire process is necessary, in my opinion. Having a daily log or a daily journal of hey, this is what happened today, and documenting that because the next generations after you need to know your story. They need to know your process because that'll make their path extremely easier. When the next generations know the process that you documented, their walk on their path becomes way easier. That's my opinion. But to get from the starting point to the end point, there is a process that's there. The travel time between start and the end, that's the journey. But the how we're going to travel from the start to the end, that's the process.
No.
And that's skipped a lot.
That's why in the Black community, we be wanting things to get fixed like that.
And it never will.
And we always, like for instance, everybody say, oh, we need to get our own black town, our own black city. Okay.
And
we can, just like they used to. But however, it's a process that we have to go through. And for some odd reason today, people, I think it's because everything is so given to us now. A lot of this dopamine release, man. So you get dopamine as soon as you wake up. You look at the phone or get whatever you do. It's a lot of dopamine release, and I keep saying that. So I feel like a lot of times the attention span of people getting shorter. That goes with that goes with not wanting to go through the process. Think about it. If your attention span is shorter, how are you going to get something that's highly advanced done in your brain? That's an idea or a thought or whatever, or something, even a career that you want to get to. If your attention span is short, you're not going to be able to reach your goal.
I look at it like this because I play sports.
Yeah.
Now, what you said is absolutely true, and I see it from a coaching perspective, right?
Yeah.
But also, too, when you are playing in an organized game, a football, basketball, track and field, baseball, whatever, I've done all four of those. You have to focus.
Yeah.
Because you have nothing else to do but that. In football specifically, somebody is literally attempting to do their assignment, and they have no regard on how they're going to treat you in this assignment. It's a semi-passive form of war.
Yeah.
Football. It's like I'm literally running into another person intentionally to stop their momentum. And attempting to go get somebody else and stop their momentum.
I'm glad I didn't play football. Y'all was a bunch of idiots.
It's still, I love it though. It's kind of a little shaky. It's a little shaky, for sure. I've had that thought before. Like, damn, why did I play football?
Yeah, man.
I loved it. I was good at it. I was decent. I ain't gonna say I was decent at it.
When I heard Cuz was trash.
I was decent at it.
I heard Cuz was pretty good.
But I ain't gonna say I was decent though. But why was I out there doing that? Like, why didn't I put that attention to detail into something else? Into playing an instrument, into reading books, into learning how to be an entrepreneur, like all these different things that
wasn't interested in it. And you know why?
Exactly.
You know why else, Cuz? You said this last podcast. You know what else? And I think this is the key frame. He ain't see nobody else doing it. Most time we see black people doing stuff, we see them sports. We see them athletes. We see them as drug dealers, being the top ones.
Yeah, for sure.
So that plays in a role, but nah, cuz not that.
I learned a lot of great stuff from sports, so I apply it to my commitments now. Like those principles, those morals, values, and principles I learned in. I ain't gonna say I learned a lot of morals in football because it was a lot of shit that had to be done, and I didn't care about the person lined up in front of me. But I learned a lot of values and a lot of principles from working in a team unit on the football field.
That's how I feel about the streets, cuz I learned a lot, man. I learned a lot about people, learned a lot about friends, I learned a lot about life, cuz, shit.
You know what?
In
in streets and sports,
teach you shit.
This I'm gonna really sit down and think of this, but this just hit me though. I think you get the values and principles right, but the morals are missing.
Yeah.
And that's the spiritual part of it.
I don't know, man. I don't know. We ain't gonna act streets with that because the streets, the morals and values and principles, it's all screwed up.
No, but you learn valuable stuff though. It's in my opinion, it's an illegal form of entrepreneurship.
I did. I learned especially
big pharma sells drugs.
Yeah, they do. They got my daddy hooked on that shit, man.
Like what we like, you know what I mean? Like it's a lot of things that go on. Like, you know what I mean? They legally sell drugs. They legally sell insulin
and fucking people,
medicine and all. They sell it.
Up, man. We losing family.
Like restaurants sell ultra processed foods.
And they committed to that shit, cuz.
Right, because we're committed.
Talk about committed.
And we're committed to consuming it.
Yo.
As a community.
Because if
we gotta be real about it.
Think about it. Because if we wasn't committed of buying, okay, think about it. If they had a product A and B, and they had, say if A was healthy and B wasn't healthy, but everybody keeps buying B, their commitment is going to change to getting you to buy B. So that more people can buy B, they can make more money off of you.
It's profit.
So,
when I be telling people, man, when this brother Keith Bill told me in 2016 that business is everything and everything is business, my entire perspective on life shifted.
You know what's crazy? That's something you learn in the streets.
It shifted.
It's crazy. That's something you learn.
That's dope, but that's a principle, and that's a principle that can be valued.
Yeah,
that's a principle you learn. Like, oh, this is a bit like, oh, okay, this gas station's a business. These tires that's going up and down the street is a business.
It's a monopoly, bro.
You gotta pay rent.
Capitalism. Yeah.
Like it's built off of profit and not like people. Essentially, that's the system that we were born into.
That's why this is one thing. I don't care how they feel. I don't care how they feel about this. That's one thing I don't get why people trust doctors. If their whole thing is to make money, why would they ever fix me? Like, if I'm a patient forever, and this is one thing I share with people, I don't even care. This is one thing I told Cuz off the phone the other day in our business thing. I said, I don't want to be like everybody else. My goal was to actually help families, not to put a Band-Aid.
Absolutely.
Not to cover up a cut. Not to pamper your illness. I actually want to heal. I actually want to fix. I actually want to sew your wound. Everything, your cut. It's a difference. And I feel like we get lost. And that's what's wrong with America today, bro. We look at every single thing is made out of profit. So how do we really know that this is really healthy for you? Shit, motherfucker just saying that because he's trying to make $1. You know, come to I'm a good doctor. Oh, I became a doctor because of this person died and this, that, and that. But would you do it if it was for free? And I actually understand that now. Because we been doing this for free.
Absolutely. We did it for free for 2 years.
Commitment. And that's what I realized something. I realized that too, cuz. You're trying to switch the subject, but I've been realizing that too, cuz. I've been realizing people always say, what are you doing? Would you do it for free? And I actually understand that now. That's why you have to do something. What would you do for free? And that's what you need to start your business in. It sounds crazy, but what would you do for free and start doing it for free? Then start a business in it. Because
that's what you live in America. Yeah. I'm advocating for that.
Yeah, America. You know, I ain't never been nowhere else. And Ronnie Roan only talk about what I know. You know what I mean? I've been in my foot, my ass, and everything else. Been in America. I ain't never pissed shit anywhere else.
What are you doing? We had a great moment. Some goofy shit like that.
Nowhere else. You know what I mean?
I'm with you though.
No. But nah, man. So like I was saying, man. So
funny.
I know it'd be natural, man. I mean, for real, no, that'd be crazy part about it. But you know, so you got to be. What was I saying? Doing something for free, right?
Yeah. What would you do? Yeah.
What
start
would you
your
do?
business based on something you do for free.
Yeah, start your business off of something you would do for free. Mm-hmm. I actually been understanding that concept. Because I saw, I forgot particularly who, but somebody said it. It was some type of entrepreneur or something. And he said, yeah, man, you really got to do it. He basically said that. I'm like, man, cuz been freeing people for free. Never thought about making money off of it. You know what I mean? We generally wanted to get our family together. So we had a reunion. You know what I mean? We genuinely want to help the youth. You know, we both was in youth programs before we even made Lineage Leader. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You know, so all of this stuff that we was already doing for free, and I'm getting paid for it. Yep. And then that's why you would stay committed to it. Because think about it, you work up to a job every day, man, that shit getting annoying. Eventually you'll get a new job. You get to do a career. If it's getting old to you, eventually you probably want a new career or retire from your career or whatever. You gotta do something. And also why you gotta do that is because when times is getting rough and you're not getting paid, you won't quit doing it.
Yep.
Because once you quit doing something, it's over. It never can happen. You gave, even if the chances was 1%, even if chances was 0.1%, you quitting has made it to 0%. You working every day makes a percent go higher. That's why the chances of us starting our business starting to develop is because we kept putting more effort into that percent. We had a percent and we kept putting more effort into it every day. Not knowing, because we were doing it for free and unintentionally, not knowing like, damn, cuz we got a whole business. Everything we're trying to do for free, quote unquote, we can make a business off of this and live so we can do this.
Yep.
We can make a living so we can do this, and we ain't gotta be stretching our bodies out, going to work and doing everything else to try to do this. We can just do this and put more commitment into it.
Now, I will say this though. When I made that example, I agree with you 1,000,000%.
Yeah, cuz.
That example, I was like starting point, ending point.
Yeah.
And that process, and that's in between. Now you're gonna have to put some sweat equity in
For free. You ain't gonna get
for
nothing
free.
back.
It ain't gonna get no return.
Nothing back.
We did that for 2 years.
You ain't gonna get nothing back.
And we starting to make
Longer than 2 years, cuz. We just
true. You damn you right.
For real.
That's real. So a little over 2 years, right, before we saw any type of return. But we planted a tree though.
Mm-hmm.
And when you planting a fruit tree, it doesn't grow overnight. It takes time to mature.
Months. Ooh.
But as soon as that thing matures, it's always going to produce fruit when it's the right time during the right season. Always gonna produce fruit.
Mm-hmm.
As long as the soil don't get contaminated, it's gonna produce fruit. And that process in between the starting point and the ending point of that free work that you gotta like I said earlier in the podcast, going to Lowe's at 6 a.m. Let's get some rest. Now we up, we gotta spend money to go get the supplies to go cut down these trees.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta go get it. And we gotta haul them to the site where we cutting these trees at. And let's say we cut trees for 8 hours that day, we don't get paid after we get done doing that.
Mm.
So we're gonna still build this boat though.
Yeah.
We're gonna build this boat. And let's say we don't get paid until we get in the boat and get to wherever we reach it, wherever the destination is. That's when we get paid. So the process of going to get the products to cut the wood, shipping the products from Lowe's to the site where we're cutting the wood down, however long it takes to cut the wood, then we have to treat the wood so it can last when we put it in the water. Got to figure out what that process looks like. It's a process within the process. Then we got to put all the wood together with the right type of material so it doesn't fall apart while we're on the water. Then we have to know how to navigate to our destination while we're on the water, because there's nothing but water and the sun and the clouds and the animals in the ocean and the wind and us. That's it. So we got to manage that whole process. Then we get to the destination. That's where the money's at. Or that's where the prize is. That's where the gold is. That's where whatever you want to put there. That's where the end goal is. So are you committed to go through that process to be able to go from starting point to ending point and not make any money? If you're willing to go through that process and not make any money and do it for free
and use all your effort and time, you're not only losing money, cuz you losing effort, you losing time, energy. You losing all these things. You and then you know what else you put? And you putting everything into it. And in order, and a lot of times I learned this from gardening. You be like, damn, I'm about to give up, not knowing what gotta go first. The roots. You never see the roots.
You don't see it.
Bamboo, that's where bamboo start off. Bamboo, the fastest growing tree. When it does grow, but guess how long it takes? 5 years. But when it hit that sprout, 5 years, nobody grows faster than a bamboo tree. You look at one day, after that first day, it start growing, just know it's over. In 2-3 days, that bitch gonna be all the way up there. You're gonna be like, ain't no way this bitch got that tall, that fast. You know why? I had the roots. It's the shit that you do underneath the dirt. It's the actions that you do underneath the dirt, I'm gonna say. It's the, and what do the roots do? The roots do what? They fight, they dig, they sweat, and they don't even see the sun. You know?
They just get the nutrients.
They just get the nutrients from the soul. Yep. They pushing dirt, and then on top of that, they gotta be strong. So they gotta fatten up. They gotta grab the earth strong enough to be able to hold this bamboo tree. Then they gotta fatten up to be able to hold the nutritions. Not only to hold the weight, to hold the nutritions.
Gotta get the nutrients.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
And so I was like,
For sure.
A lot of times when the roots growing, we ready to throw away the soil or go ahead and put a new seed in there and spray that seed down and think that seed gonna pop up.
And for anybody new that's listening here, we make a lot of correlations with nature because family to us is nature. Nature is, and family is our nature. So we're making a lot of connections.
Life is nature.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
Life is nature.
Life is nature.
Life is nature.
And you got to be committed to nature. You got to be committed to life. You got to be committed to both.
You got to be committed to when the roots is growing.
Yes,
and then when the roots do grow, you got to be committed to knowing how to harvest. Well, you got to be committed. Like I said this in one podcast, I learned that the vegetation stage was the best. And that's the most important. That's before the fruits even come. That's what people don't understand. I didn't even think about this. The most important stage, cuz, is before the fruits come. Because when they do come,
it's all the negativity coming. Like, damn, when was this ever gonna happen? Blah blah.
Yeah.
Like,
you gotta be ready. Because when the fruits come, you gotta know how to harvest so you can receive it. You gotta know when it's ripe so you can receive it. Man, a lot of times it just hit me, man. I'm telling y'all, gardening is the best thing to do. A lot of times we don't stick around for that vegetation stage, and that's the most important stage. We want to hurry up and get it fast. So for instance, I'm going to use it for growth. You got a tomato tree. You want to hurry it up and produce tomato trees, so you only let it get this big. You didn't let it get at its peak height because you was rushing the process. You wasn't going through the process and letting it get as big as it can get. Now, when it's time for you to harvest and ripe, you're going to get a little small-ass tomato. And then when you get that small tomato, it's going to be hard to tell when it's ripe. It's going to be hard to tell when it's harvest because it's so damn small. And then you're not going to be able to get nothing but a bite. And I know this because it happened to me. I'm only talking from experience. However, when you actually let the vegetation stage and get ready for it and you let it grow and you take that slow process and you keep putting in work and letting it grow and you keep putting in work and letting it blossom and getting big, you're like, damn, this thing is getting big. It should have been blew up. No, let it keep growing. Because now the bigger it is, the stronger it is, and the more blossoming flowers it got, the more bigger the flowers gonna be. I mean, the more bigger the tomatoes gonna be, the more tomatoes you gonna have, and the fatter they gonna, and the more juicier they gonna be. Yeah, it's gonna be easier to tell. Yeah, you're gonna get more treasure out of it because the plant is strong enough to hold bigger fruits.
The weight of the fruit.
It's bigger, right? A lot of times we want to rush this process and we're not strong enough mentally. We're not strong enough physically. We're not strong enough all three of the ways to harvest the fruits the right way when we get these quote unquote blessings. We don't know how to harvest them the right way. We don't know when to harvest them. And we don't get abundance of it because we rush the process.
And to your point, I think that's a call to action to slow down for us all, from a communal standpoint, from a family standpoint, from an individual standpoint. Slow down, organize your thoughts, organize your emotions, make sure you got the goal in mind, the outcome that you want. Make sure you're in a good space, mentally, emotionally, socially, spiritually, financially, just to be able to attack what you want out of life. Because the earth is here for us to be able to reap what we sow, essentially. But if you're not in a good space when you are sowing your seeds into the land to produce the fruit that you need for your family or your friends or the people that you love the most or your community, it's going to be very little or very minimal. The harvest is going to be very little, very minimal. So take your time, slow down. Slow down. Time is man-made. The only time where time is important is when you're growing food, in my opinion. Oh yeah, you got decorum in business and everything. It's like a code of ethics to keep everything. But that's a different conversation for a different day. We're not talking about no unnatural shit right now. We're just talking about the natural stuff we were born into. Like, I know I can't go outside in Indianapolis, Indiana and go plant some mangoes right now. We in the middle of winter. Yeah. That shit is not gonna work.
I got a mango tree though.
But Cuz got a mango tree.
I got a mango tree.
But he can't go outside and plant that.
I got him on though.
He can't go outside and plant that right now because it's not gonna work. Because it's not the right time in nature. But as soon as you start getting back with nature and aligning nature with your life and your commitments, with all of that, that process from here to here, you do it for free all day. It won't even blink. It won't
even notice that you're doing it for free.
At all, man. It was a good one, Cuz. Another super solid one.
Man, imagine if this was your drink.
Ooh, that's good.
Ooh, and I finish it at the end.
Yeah,
that shit feels good. I'm gonna keep it 100%.
That's coming soon. That was wild. That's coming soon though. Be on the lookout. We're gonna be getting some drink sponsors here in a little bit. I'm throwing it out there in the verse.
Probably by you.
Yeah, so if you're watching, if that's you, reach out to us. We definitely got some people we're gonna be reaching out to. That's gonna be coming soon.
Just to let you know, because Cuz normally the one who tell you. I was waiting for him to say it gotta be vegan.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. Gotta be plant based. We're gonna have to do a whole vetting process before we get on camera promoting your black brand for sure. But we're gonna make it make sense though. But yeah, family, we appreciate y'all for tuning in to another episode of Lead Your Lineage. Man, as we always say, lead yourself so you can lead your lineage. And family is the foundation of freedom. Catch y'all on the next one.
You know, tipping ain't easy, dude. I'm ready by my side every day.